Be like me and head to factormeals.com/kindafunny50 off and use code kindafunny50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor.
If you want to get our shows ad-free and our exclusive shows, go to patreon.com/kindafunny.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Kinda Funny screencast reaction here on youtube.com/kindafunnygames podcast services around the globe. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello, Greg.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. I'm looking forward to this trailer.
I am also looking forward to this trailer. Of course, thank you, Delaney Sam Twining, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, our Patreon producers over on patreon.com/kindafunny. However, this is our time to react to and watch the Lanterns teaser trailer. Of course, we all got swerved. They were very clear that this was coming out tomorrow. This was supposed to be a tomorrow drop, and then they just dropped it today on us.
Crazy.
So this is crazy. This is exciting.
I don't like that they didn't update you personally for that.
James Gunn refuses to respond to my DMs anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I just crossed the line.
Has he ever responded to you?
Yes. Oh, yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we've there's a bridge now, a fissure.
Something's happened.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Something's happened.
Is he big time in us? We don't know.
I hate being big time, but I guess he's kind of busy. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
You know,
Dude.
then
I
this
mean,
whole thing.
I'm busy too.
People are getting acquired and shit. I don't know what's going on.
I make time for you.
Lanterns is one that hasn't felt real.
Right.
Lanterns, we've only had that shot really of Kyle Chandler, who I would have always, before I looked at his name right there, just said the Friday Night Lights coach.
Kyle Chandler, yeah.
And Aaron Pierre just walking on that road,
That's
right?
it.
And then that one little clip from like CinemaCon or whatever that was like, the ring trusts you or some shit or whatever, and he jumps a car or whatever. So like, I've refused to daydream. I haven't daydreamed about this. You know, you talk about Greg Miller, a kid growing up obsessed with DC Comics, obsessed with Green Lantern. Like, I haven't dreamed, so I really don't know what I'm getting in this trailer. Of course, the whole pitch, of course, is like True Detective style show or whatever. I'm very excited for what this is going to be, Nick.
I have zero context for this either, other than this image that I've seen a bunch of times.
Okay.
Kyle Chandler for me. My touchstone is obviously, of course, the Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know Aaron Pierre. I don't have a touchdown for him. But I love what they've done so far with the properties. I like the direction they're going in. And this was definitely one of those where I saw it pop up and I'm like, I would probably be okay if this got canceled. But
no way.
And this was definitely one that you think like, oh, we're going to come up with a couple things for it and put it out there. And if people, if they pick up for it, we'll green light the dang thing, no pun intended. But I'm glad that it's happening. I love Peacemaker. I love the Superman movie. I'm looking forward to the Supergirl movie. So let's rock.
I'm ready to dive in. We're, of course, going to jump in, look at that, go to ads, come back with a full-blown thoughts, probably tear through it screen by screen. But Barrett, when you're ready, I'm ready to see Lanterns, HBO Max.
With all due respect, we've been training for, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You're just a fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are. All right.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you. Something is off here. I can feel it.
This is awesome.
This is crazy.
You're a big shot. Noted. But stay the fuck out of my way.
Oh, I love her.
I love her.
It's the way she hates them.
This is a stupid plan.
Not that stupid.
That I don't doubt. The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people. And we both know I do a better job of this than you.
This is my job. As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing. So take a deep breath, Junior.
You're old. You're tired. And your time is up.
I don't understand. Who are you exactly?
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
talk with the other lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was not what I was expecting.
No, I mean, well, no, but like, kind of. Like, again, based on that one image we've seen, the True Detective thing, I just didn't expect him to commit this hard to it.
Yeah.
I want to process. Everybody, we couldn't do this kind of stuff without your support. Patreon.com/kindoffunny, YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple, Spotify. Pick up your Kind of Funny membership and get all of our shows ad-free. And speaking of ads, you're not using your benefits right now. So here's a word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by Factor, my go-to shortcut for great food fast. Cold days, big goals, and no time to cook? Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So eat well without the planning or cooking. I love Factor because I get to pick from 100 rotating meals, get them delivered to the studio, and then have a meal ready to eat in those precious few minutes I get between shows. Factor uses quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. Always fresh, never frozen, ready in about 2 minutes. No prep, no stress. What's not to love? Be like me. Head to factormeals.com/kindoffunny 50 off and use code kindoffunny50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan, one free breakfast item per box for 1 year while subscription is active. And we are back. What did you think, Nick?
Well, when you said it was going to be sort of True Detective style, I was like, that seems like a weird thing for a Lantern show.
Yeah.
But it's got me more curious than it does worried here.
Yeah.
I mean, these two look like they're going to have great chemistry with each other. This looks like a show that I would absolutely 100% watch to, the rookie detective, the old grizzled veteran training him. Maybe they don't get along. Maybe they become best friends.
They won't.
It's just, it on the offset, it feels like they're sort of shoehorning in the lanterns concept.
Yeah.
This seems more like to me, I'm very curious as to why they're not just lanterns, why they're not using the powers, why we're not seeing any green in this whatsoever. Presumably, maybe the lantern's not charged. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I love Kelly McDonald.
I love Kelly McDonald.
This show.
Boardwalk Empire, come on.
And Kyle Chandler is just aging like a fine wine. This man is getting better looking as he goes along. So, I mean, I obviously am going to watch this. I'm very interested. And if they manage to nail the sort of tone and vibe that they have in this, and it is an interesting detective story, that's enough for me. I just worry that we're tacking on the lanternness of it, and so that's what I'll be cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, subvert your expectations. Clearly, I think that's what we're looking at here, right? Superman was so pulled from the comic book. Mm-hmm. Supergirl pulled from Woman of Tomorrow, right? And then Peacemaker, its own wackadoo stuff. We got Creature Commando as a cartoon. I think it really is them trying to explore the scope of what the DCU can be and give us this grounded, we're in Nebraska, here it is. I wonder, it definitely is a question of how much is the trailer holding back right now with the teaser, right? How much are we going to get in the way of Green Lantern abilities and powers, right? Because the way we set it up of Jon Stewart not even having tried on the ring after all this training from Hal Jordan, the way Hal flies off it there and there isn't this green aura, and again, all this can be put in post or whatever. Are we really getting maybe one thing with the ring every show? And then, of course, are we going to get the penultimate episode where the big bad evil's revealed itself and Hal has to go and suit up,
right,
and then it's that thing. But it's like, even that sounds like my expectation, which I'd imagine they're going to hopefully buck. Maybe they're giving us a trailer that is showing you how grounded this is going to be, but then getting into where we're going to go with this. Interesting throwaway line there, or not throwaway line at the end there, right? Of like, hey, we talked to the other lanterns. They're all aliens. One of them is a squirrel. Like, what about Guy Gardner, of course, right? We know Nathan Fillion is in this show, so him showing up with a chip on his shoulder, I'm sure will be something. And whatever Hal Jordan is here in terms of a Green Lantern that seems to be on the outs with all of it, but now investigating this murder in Nebraska or whatever for whatever's going on.
Yeah, it's an interesting place to find him. And I think the casting is fantastic so far.
For sure.
Both these guys
though, it's that thing where I think we've seen so much in the way of superheroes since the dawn of the MCU on to where we are now, right? That coming in here and having a show about superheroes that really won't have them doing that much superheroic stuff, I like. Having them come in and, like, Green Lanterns are usually just space cops, right? Having Hal Jordan here being a cop, Hal Jordan being a Green Lantern. Maybe, again, is he on the outs? Is Guy Gardner his replacement and Hal's just still bumming around? Does the world know he's a Green Lantern? You know what I mean?
Right.
The way Kelly reacts to him there, like, stay the fuck out of my way. Like, it sounds like she gets that he has jurisdiction here and something.
Well, it doesn't seem like he's not, he's making a ton of effort in that interrogation scene.
Sure, right. Hal Jordan
to hide that he's a Green Lantern. So that'll be the interesting thing for me, right? Is that where are they in this world? Where are we finding them? Are they secret agents? Are they, what are we doing here? I don't think in the comics, and I know we're not necessarily going specifically for canon. I know there's been lots of runs, but Jon Stewart replaced Hal, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
sort of.
That's the thing where it's like there's like so many, like, Green Lanterns just have one per sector. So 2814 here in the Earth sector, is like even more at times. So it's like you play with that a lot in terms of where Jon Stewart comes in and how he interacts with Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner eventually. But like there's been that tear of, yes, the replacement to come in and do this. So what's going on here with him calling him substitute teacher, right, is interesting to see what it is. Yeah, is he training his replacement? Is that the idea here?
Right.
But again, how does Guy Gardner fit into that?
And yeah, I mean, it's curious. It's very curious. It's an interesting setup here. Because I know very little about the actual Lantern lineage here, but I do know that usually the Ring picks the person, right?
Yes, the Ring is supposed to find somebody. Yeah,
so exactly. Why has the Ring just not picked Jon Stewart, and doesn't he have to go to Odin or Oa for the training?
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of questions. Which I love. My thought would be the Ring picked him, and then he sought out Hal Jordan to be trained about.
Yeah, but then why does Hal get to keep the Ring? That's the question. Once the Ring picks you don't get the other. No one else can wear the Ring, right?
Again,
technically they could pick it up.
How are we gonna play? There's this awesome fucking moment.
Oh,
all right, let me tell you about it. Where it's Justice League coming. They're coming in. They're fighting Deathstroke, of course, the Terminator. You know him well. Joe Magliano was supposed to be in whatever, right?
Big intervention.
And Slade is fighting Kyle Rayner, of course, one of the young Green Lanterns, right? The young Green Lantern. All right, how much you know about Kyle Rayner?
Not a lot.
Oh, man, Hal Jordan goes crazy, kills all the Green Lantern Corps members, and then they go, all right, there's just one Green Lantern now. The last Guardian makes one final ring, and it goes to pick Kyle Rayner. Doesn't matter. He has no training. Eventually, though, Kyle Rayner is running with the Justice League, right? And he's fighting Deathstroke, and like they're doing the whole thing, and Deathstroke grabs his hand and the ring. And Kyle Rayner's like, what are you doing? And Deathstroke like, I'm testing a theory. The ring runs on willpower, right? Do you think you or me have more? Wow. And he starts like taking it over while Rainer's wearing it. It's fucking awesome.
Oh,
comics are cool, guys. Read
sick.
comics. So all these questions are awesome, and I'm glad they're there. And I'm really excited to get into this corner of the DCU. As you know, I love what James Gunn has done with Superman. I love what I've seen with Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, while enjoyable to whatever level, aren't corners of the universe I want to go to. I'd rather see, what are we doing with the Justice League members?
Yeah.
What are we doing with the big folks? Where is Batman?
AAA
Where is Wonder Woman? Where is Green Lantern? Where's Flash? So like to get in here and have something very different. I love watching this, letting the performances shine and being like, man, to your point, if I was watching this in a theater and I didn't know anything ahead of time, if they just had the last thing be the Ring, like, what? That's a show about Green. You know what I mean? Like, I like the idea that like you can watch this and not have it beat over the head that it's guys in tights that are flying in space with a score. You know what I mean?
But I think that's what you have to do for a series, right? With a movie, you can take bigger swings and you don't have to necessarily tell a nuanced story. But if we're talking 6 to 8 episodes for the show, 8 episodes, you want the character dynamics to shine, and they're already shining for me, at least in this trailer. I'll disagree with you a little bit on Peacemaker. Is that?
Oh no, I didn't like it.
I know you liked it, but I'll say that to me is a perfect property for an HBO Max show.
Sure,
it really is just about the characters. There's really no powers whatsoever in Peacemaker, other than some fun fighting and some shenanigans and silliness. Yeah. But that show hits on a level that a show like Gen V or The Boys doesn't necessarily hit for. Because it's just different, and this looks like it's going to be on that level, and it's continuing, the same production value and the same storytelling with the characters, and I'm pretty into it. I think it'll be a very fun week-to-week watch. I don't know that I necessarily think it's going to be the greatest show ever made. No. I doubt that it'll come anywhere close to a True Detective like season 1.
Of course,
but it doesn't need to be. It needs to just be what it needs to be, which is an entertaining romp for 8 episodes with 2 characters that I hopefully like.
And as always, too, I wonder when you're talking about taking a show to TV and spreading it over 8 weeks, right? Like, that's where I come down to with, like, all right, well, how much was... All right, we need to tell a Green Lantern story, but we can't be blowing the special effects budget. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be, let's tell something personal on the ground in Nebraska. Like, it's to keep it away from him making crazy-ass shit in space and fighting people.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, we'll get one blow. You know Sinestro's coming. So, yeah.
You think that's what it's going to be?
He'll be in there for sure.
Yeah.
You have to have him. I don't know. I've heard rumors. I was reading. I have it open right now. Comicbook.com is making. They think they're Black Hand's involved with it and yada yada. I don't know, but I'm excited for whatever this is. I really, especially for. No offense to Ryan Reynolds, not having a good Green Lantern adaptation on screen. Period. Like, I'm just excited to have the Lanterns here. I don't even care about what the story is, who we're going for. Like, I care about this story looking cool and whatever this weird murder is and whatever they're trying to do, whatever, great. But I don't care. You don't need to hit Sinestro. I don't need to see Guardians.
You mean as far as like a Green Lantern-led property?
Yeah.
Because I would disagree with you, Guy Gardner. I think
Guy Gardner was great in
the best
Superman,
part of
exactly.
Superman.
But I'm saying I'm talking like
Sure.
getting something all to themselves. Because
how do we feel about this? How do we feel about this ring? The design of this ring.
At first
Can we go
glance,
back
I
to that
don't
where
love
where
it.
he puts it on the dashboard there, Barry?
But I think it's also interesting that Guy Gardner's and Superman's didn't look like that. So I have questions already about that. Of like,
what did Guy's look like?
well, first off, there's this one which we're looking at right now.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, we get one that's closer and looks almost like a cigarette lighter in the center. More, it might be this just in a different light.
Maybe.
Guy Gardner's
Maybe
I
it's
thought
that
looked
chart.
way more like a rock. So hold on, Superman.
Well, he goes to the very, very end. He kind
movie
of shoots someone with it.
Green Lantern ring.
Let's see where we're
Yeah,
at. Right. Yeah.
No, that looks like the other one.
That's
yeah,
the same one.
No, maybe it's just when it's
just
a little bit powered
glowing,
down.
yeah.
It's not glowing. It looks like one.
Got a little bit of glow in it.
Trying to find a good. Yeah,
I mean-
if you Google a Superman movie Green Lantern ring, you see a bunch of ones that don't look like that exactly.
Here's what I'll say, and this
Yeah.
is a good thing. I think the tone of this makes me happy. The tone of this makes me think they're taking this seriously. There might be some comedy in it, but it's overarchingly going to be more of an intense sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I like that because I think then these characters lend themselves more to the other properties as well. Like,
Sure.
I don't know if have they made any announcements of either of these characters like going into the movies?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that they will, though. I mean, Kyle Chandler's a movie star. Aaron Pierre, it looks
James Gunn
looks the
so
part.
far has been very much like the stories are going to dictate what happens. We're not
Okay.
building to a crossover event.
They're gonna have a crossover.
Yeah, there'll be more crossovers. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, see, his ring looks different. I always thought it looked more like Ryan Reynolds' ring from his Green Lantern flick. That was just more of like a rock. And I like all those fine. When I think of the Green Lantern ring, I think of the lantern silhouetted, kind of small, even on the ring.
Taking liberty.
I don't care, and I also love the fact that again, we're playing with it fast and loose. But even glancing at this, right, clearly the Lanterns have a say over what their outfit looks like. Because Guy Gardner, as you just saw there, of course, has the Justice Gang Green Lantern outfit
Right,
on.
just chooses to wear
when
what he
you,
wants.
when you saw the suit in the closet here, it did not look like the Injustice Gang in terms of like being one for one with what he did. There's
Wait,
obviously
scroll back.
similarities.
Are there suits in all those bags?
There's some, it looks like there's stuff in those bags, but maybe they're just suits.
No. There's a lantern on the front of that. If you go,
Ah, you're
So, yeah,
right.
look at that. So,
Nick, good eye.
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
This
So
is
he's just got a closet full of
this
suits.
is a costume closet.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
But that was always a big thing for Kyle Rayner as well, because when he was the only Green Lantern, he didn't have to live by anybody's rules anymore, so
Right.
he didn't need the whole like leotard the way he did it. He did all these cool like fucking 90s shit and hard edges and whatever.
I gotta read.
Changed
I gotta
the
read that
symbol.
run.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You know what pushed Hal Jordan over the edge?
What's that?
Death of Superman. Superman dies. All the, four Supermen come around, right?
Yeah.
Turns out, of course, Cyborg's a bad guy. Spoilers for the Death and Return of Superman. Cyborg's a bad guy, right? And what he did is he went and he blew up Coast City. Like, Lantern City just destroyed it all, just killed it all. That pushed Green Lantern over the edge. And Hal Jordan was like, if I can keep getting more power rings, I can remake that reality. Went crazy, became this guy named Parallax. Bad
Oh,
guy.
he became Parallax.
Yeah. And so then it was this whole thing of like,
Wasn't Parallax the bad guy in the Ryan Reynolds thing?
they retconned it, of course, because people were like, well, we really like Hal Jordan. Like, comics, we want him to come back and be a good guy. So they did it. Yeah, the Parallax was, the whole thing for the Yellow Lanterns, and like he had possessed Hal Jordan. They did the whole thing.
Oh,
But I liked it better when he's had a psychotic breakdown.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
that was
great.
really cool. That was when they're like, nobody cares about Green Lantern.
Yeah,
we're gonna throw it
let's
all
go
out the
somewhere.
window.
Let's go
Yeah.
out there. I gotta read that run.
Dude, Green Lantern. That's where I picked up with Green Lantern, and I went back and bought all the books up to that point so I could have it, and then went on and loved Kyle Rayner so much for it. Great stuff. really good.
Fantastic.
All right, everybody, that's Lanterns. I can't wait. No official date that I can find. That's usually Tim's job. It looks like August is some question marks maybe around it, but 2026 for sure this year. Hopefully we'll get a, let me go to Instagram and check out James Gunn because he put it up. Maybe he said one.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now. I don't see,
Yeah, but
I don't see a
Wikipedia.
release
they
date.
just
Well,
knows Instagram.
Yeah. It looks like August 2026 is what.
Yeah, you found Instagram?
Yeah, that's all it's got.
Yeah, no, it's August. Yeah. Thank you very much, James Gunn. You manifested it early. The official Lanterns teaser is here coming this August. I cannot freaking wait. Everybody, what did you think of the Lanterns teaser trailer? Let us know in the comments on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Pick up your membership, like, subscribe, share, do all the stuff so we can keep hanging out and nerding out with you. Until next time, in brightest day and blackest night.
Blackest night.